everybody. Good evening and welcome to Reno Improv's virtual stage. It's Saturday. It is Saturday. It's also April and it is also the 17th. So, welcome everybody. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us for another week of romantic comedy from our friends at Reno Improv, including myself. We've got a fun show planned for you tonight, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about love. I don't know. We're going to find love or find out some lessons in love. We're going to learn something about ourselves and about our characters and about the world. We're going to do all of those things tonight with a super fun cast. I've got my friends here with me, and we're excited to do this show. So let me bring them to the screen. And we have Allie. Here she comes. And we have a special guest, too, tonight. We have Mike Brown joining us. And some of you might know Mike Brown. Some of you might not. But that's Mike Brown, everybody. And this is it for tonight, guys. We got a nice small cast. But that means we are oh so prepared for the unprepared, right? I don't know. That sounded nice, but I think if we look into it a little bit at all, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's not what improv is anyway. We're prepared for the unprepared.
Yeah. But like I said, I think it sounds really nice, but I don't think it makes much sense. So let's
double down. Double down, Tim. Double down.
I'm going to. It's what I've done my whole life. KFC double down, all the double downs. I'm into all doubling down. Yeah. Well, all right. Let's not get too off the rails. Only 3 minutes into the show. But yeah, we're gonna do an improvised romantic comedy for you tonight. But first, we're gonna just talk to you a little bit. I want to see the audience out there. I know you're out there. I see the numbers. So we want to know about. We're not going to answer all of your dating questions, but we're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, our romantic lives, or our embarrassing romantic lives, or things that have happened to us. That the awkwardness of dating, I think, is a topic that we all find are all in the last half hour or so of just chatting a little bit. Found ourselves finding that dating is definitely an awkward thing. I think, regardless of age. If it's awkward enough, I think maybe you just don't date for a while. That was certainly the case for me, right? High school was and college, I think, are supposed to be these times of in my brain, I guess it was you're supposed to learn, but also know those things as you go through college and high school. And I just found myself feeling like I was just more and more naive with every passing year. I was like, I'm staying the same. Everyone's moving ahead.
Well, Tim, one of the things you talk about when because you're comparing dating in high school and stuff, and so this imagery that is evoking a very specific memory in my brain. I didn't date when I was in high school. But one thing that I did do a lot of was daydreaming about dating while I was in high school, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So there was this, I was known as the nerd, the geek, the dork, the dweeb, whatever.
Way back
adjective,
then.
yeah. And so with the new girl in school, I kind of figured I could Charlie Brown this whole thing, right? And she in history class, she sat 2 seats behind me, and I was like, okay, she doesn't know who I am. I can make a great first impression. She's really pretty, and I was sitting front row history class, right?
I just really hold on. The best part about this is that. The best that you're in is that she doesn't know anything about me yet, so I've got a chance.
I have an in. I'm closer than I've ever been before, right? So she's anyway. So I'm sitting front row in history class, and it's boring. Come on, guys, history is always boring. Not that it isn't important. It's important, but it's boring. So when you're 9th grade, whatever. So I'm sitting there. I'm starting to fall asleep a little bit. And guess whose flatulence just ripped a big one, right? This guy right here. I farted oh so loud. And it was just, it just came out of me. And I was like, oh no. It was one of those sneak attack kind of farts. And the teacher stopped everything. He he looked right at me, and he put his chalk down on the chalkboard and put his finger in my face. And he said, Brown, calling me by my last name, Brown, excuse yourself. And I was mortified. Like that
That's
red
when you
hot.
leave the state.
Say what?
That's when you leave the state. You move.
Oh yeah, I was done. And I just slunk down in my seat and just like hoping that the earth would open up and swallow me whole. And when I didn't say excuse me, the teacher would not continue with the lesson. And his finger was still in my face. And he said, Brown, for a second time, excuse yourself. And I just said, excuse me. And from that day on, I totally forgot that this girl ever existed and hoped that she forgot that I existed because I had no shot, no chance.
That's wonderful. It's not wonderful, but it's such a good story. And did you go to private school by chance?
Not hardly.
Okay,
No,
that just
it's
I don't know
probably-
why,
probably
but like
could be.
that feels like a private school moment, and I have no idea or
No.
context for that. But it does feel
Terrible.
like that.
I grew up in a small town, and everyone knew each other, and we all went to the same school for kindergarten through senior year, and so that was our case too. Like everyone knew everything about you, so you're not gonna date anyone unless you're a cool kid. And I was not. But so that's whenever a new student came in, you're like, okay, maybe I have a chance with this guy, but usually not.
You know what's interesting is I moved around a lot when I was a kid, so like I was always the new person in school. Every 2 to 3 years, I was the new person in school, and I definitely feel like I didn't go on dates in high school, but like so this is so weird. Then this is such a warped version, like view of dating, because like I didn't do like. I think I don't know who did, but like definitely not amongst the three of us. Certainly, there wasn't like that like stereotypical like I'm just like I hit the dating scene. Like I don't think that that's a real thing, but that's just me, you know.
It's conceptual,
right? But like so, my earliest, I think my first girlfriend, technically speaking, at least according to like my family now, was in 5th grade, which is so weird because this is when I lived in Germany. And I went to an international school, and it was the best time of my life because I was cool by default, simply because I was American, which certainly probably isn't the case anymore. But in 1994, that was the case. And like so, like I moved to this international school, and I was American, so just generally like fell in with the cool kids. Which means I had to have a girlfriend because that's what the cool kids did. And like by default, just me and this girl ended up like being friends.
Date someone by default.
Right. But like I don't know, it's just so weird. So like I don't know, I've always had like this weird like I guess like daydream version of like what dating is, because my dating life, even as far back as like silly 5th grade dating.
Well, because all we had at that time, it was all like 16 Candles and Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Empire Records. And like we have these classic movies to tell us what dating should feel like and what it should look like. And you fall into these tropes inadvertently. And then when you get there, you say, you freak out and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's like you're leaning in for the kiss and you're like, wait a second, I know what to do in this situation, but every sensibility inside of my body is telling me to run.
Oh man, Bill says in the comments, Bill wasn't allowed to date until he was 18, but graduated at 17. Dun, dun, dun,
dun. Hi, Bill.
I'm pretty sure I was allowed to date. I just didn't get any dates.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was probably allowed to date. I was just terrified of that, world.
What do you do when they
forever
stick their tongue in your mouth? What do you do?
I mean, my fiance now, and she didn't even know we were dating for like the first 3 months of our relationship. Like we both have like different opinions of when our first date was, because I thought we were dating. Turns out she did not think we were dating. Luckily, being friends was going well enough that 3 months later we ended up officially being together, as according to her. So, yep, still working out. That's a good thing. Life is good. So, yeah. Don't worry, kids. This is a PSA for all the kids watching out there. It gets better, you guys. Dating is awkward no matter who you are. I think that's maybe the lesson we learned from this is like, no matter what type of dating situation or life or history you have, right? it's weird. And I think ultimately what that comes down to, right, is you're letting somebody in, to yourself, and to your world. And that's like a dangerous and scary thing sometimes, because we're not sure what people are going to think when they meet the real us, even though the real us is probably a pretty good thing. So
how long have you guys been taken, like recently? You guys haven't even been on the dating scene.
I have never truly been on. I've never. I mean, like we were talking about. My fiance is my first real long-term relationship. Real date, anything. Like she's the first person I've ever really committed myself to, I guess, and that's a good thing. So
I have dated quite a lot. I am betrothed now. I know, right? But none of my relationships ever lasted longer than 3 months. Like the first month, everything is, wild birds and roses, because that's the phrase, right?
Yep.
The first month, everything was fantastic. The second month, I was like, okay, this is, it's all right. And then the third month, always inevitably, it was like, nope, I'm done. I'm good. This person is not this person's puzzle does not fit my piece. So
that's good. That's
maybe my chuckling at statements like that is the reason I was not actively dating for so long. It's because somebody says your puzzle doesn't fit my piece, and I laugh like a 10-year-old. So one last question for you, Mike, and then we're going to get the show underway, because I think we got a lot of good stuff here.
Hi, Diana Martin. Sorry, I just had to give a shout.
Oh, that's all right. No, that's good. Audience, chime in the comments here and give us some of your embarrassing dating moments or something. We want to hear about them. We might see some of them in our show. Who knows? When you said they only lasted 3 months, was it like a mutual departing at those? Were there situations
sometimes
where at 3 months in you were like, this person's not for me, but they were like, Mike Brown is my future.
No. Well, okay. So my college girlfriend, that was the longest until I met my fiance. My college girlfriend was my longest relationship, and that went for a year. So for the first 3 months, everything went pretty well. The second 3 months, I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. And so we broke up after 6 months. We broke up. I broke up with her over the phone, and it was the most hellacious sound. Like the sound of a human being emitting such gregarious noises in such a negative fashion hurt me. It hurt my soul. I still remember that. It was terrifying.
I don't know why I'm laughing at this. I'm sorry, but
no. So we got back together, and I was like, okay, we'll get back together, but things need to change, and things did not change. I was the jerk of this relationship, because I spent the next 6 months trying to figure out ways to get her to break up with me, and when it didn't happen, it just did not take. That's when all my friends were like, Mike, you need to rip the Band-Aid off. She is terrible for you. And so I did. And then she took all of my possessions and then burned them in a barrel behind her house.
Oh, Mike. I thought I had no more questions, but I have one more question. What types of things did you, if you do, you don't have to share this, you can always plead the fifth here. But what types of things did you do to try to get her to break up with you?
Oh,
was it just like a death by 1,000 cuts, or was it
kind of in some ways? Yes, I did play the moody card a lot. I did, because I didn't know what else to do. I was new at this.
I was new at trying to get someone to break up with me.
Yeah. So, like I said, full disclosure, I recognize that I was partially to blame in this. But what did I do? So she had a very religious background, which so do I. I'm Mormon, and she was Pentecostal, and Mormons and Pentecostals religiously don't mix well. And so I being that we both had very strong religious backgrounds, I kept trying to play the religion card and be like, look, you believe this way and I believe this way. And she's like, yeah, but we all believe in Jesus. And I'm like, I know, but so we tried to do that. I tried to I definitely
so you tried to start a holy war. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did that. Oh, here's a wonderful story with Erica. Her name is Erica, by the way. I will
Last
not
name?
tell you her
Last name,
no.
please? No.
I like
Nope.
people are just gonna
Nope.
try to find
Nope.
her now
Nope.
to see where
Nope.
she's at.
Nope. Nope. And I'm not going to tell you the spelling either.
I'm just kidding. I would never want that.
So one day we're having a moment, and she gets a nosebleed, and I didn't realize it until I started tasting iron in my mouth, and then she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And then she like lifted her head,
Oh God.
and my whole face and chest is
Ugh.
covered in blood.
I didn't need to hear this story.
she freaks out. John Knott says,
Oh,
So she freaks
God.
out. She runs to the bathroom screaming. My roommate comes out of his bedroom because we had like it was like apartment style. So it was like
Yeah.
my bedroom, living room, his bedroom. He comes out of the living room. I'm covered in blood, and he is horrified. He's like, "What were you two doing in there?" And I'm like,
I'm new at this. I've never.
"I'm new at this. I don't know what I'm doing." Anyway.
Well, on that note, I think we should start our show. Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't the show?
Yeah, this was just the precursor to what's about to happen. Oh man. Those were some really good stories. I think that we will see what happens in our characters' lives. The following presentation is based not on actual events. Nothing that you're about to see has ever happened before and will ever happen again. That's what improv is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to all head backstage. The lights are going to go out. And when we return, we will have a rom-com for you. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the show, and we'll see you afterwards. Already, everybody have a wonderful time.
All right, Joe, what is it this time?
Oh, Sarah, listen. I've been looking at your religious record, and I don't see how a Catholic and a water person such as myself can coexist together. Like, you believe in a god, you believe in a pope. I believe that fish control the world, Sarah.
You know, I see where we're going to have issues here because God seems a lot more reasonable than fish. Why do you think fish control the world?
Have you... I'm sorry. I was just under the assumption that you knew that there was water around the world, Sarah. Have you seen God? Like, you can't see a god. You can't see a person who's hovering up in the sky. There's
But
fish.
that's true, but there's also trees. Why aren't trees the rulers of the world in that case?
It's because you don't pray to trees, Sarah. You
So you pray to fish?
Yeah. I
Okay.
eat them and then I pray at them.
I would like to hear this prayer. Can I hear one?
Are you making fun of me right now, Sarah? I'm
I
opening
am
up my heart to you.
legitimately curious about what you would pray to a fish.
I usually don't do this. But this is blasphemy.
God.
It's a little
I mean-
blasphemous. But for you, I'll go ahead and just so you know that I'm not BSing, okay?
Okay.
Our flounder, who art in heaven, water be thy name.
As it is, sure.
Thy ripple come, thy wave be done, on coral as it is underneath. Give us this light into depths so deep so that plankton may have expression. And for the gills upon which they breathe, one whale underneath with fins and tails for all. Amen.
Okay. So it seemed a little bit of Pledge of Allegiance and a little bit of stuff from the Bible, like you're using to pray to fish.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to
I'm
discriminate against me?
no. Okay, you're right. This probably isn't gonna work. Do you have any friends that are a little less crazy?
Sarah,
You mean she just didn't understand, son? Like she just I don't get it. You got to explain to me how when you
Dad,
look,
I said the prayer for her. I said the prayer. I did the whole thing. Our flounder, who art in heaven, shallowed be thy name.
I forget the rest. Can you repeat exactly what you said? Never mind, son. Don't worry
On
about it. I don't
waves
want to.
be done, on ripples come, on underneath as it is in the depths of the sea.
Oh, it's one of my favorite prayers of the water people. I know it hasn't been easy and that it was a risk that your mother and I took raising you as a water person. But look at how you've turned out. You're such a good kid with good morals and good
Dad,
corals.
you've shown me the truth, Dad. It's not about choosing to believe that the fish people are the true heirs of the earth. It's knowing that this is our destiny. This is who we were always meant to be. Thank you for showing me. By the way, can you do you mind passing the crab? I'm a little parched.
Of course, of course.
Thanks.
Look, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but like I said, son, I'm glad that you've stuck to who you are and not let that change you. But it doesn't mean that everyone else out there is wrong either. Look, we can have our beliefs and they can have theirs and we can still get along. That's the only way that this is going to work. The water people were never meant to rule the world. Only 70 to 85% of it. I forget. I think it's increasing every day. So eventually the water people will rule. But for now, we share our time with the land and the people that their gods and all of that good stuff. So look, I want you to be out there and dating. And I know that your beliefs are important to you, but sometimes it's important that you understand other people's beliefs too and accept them for who they are and the way they were raised. After all, if you weren't my son, you probably wouldn't be a water person.
Tim, I'm tapping you out. I'm calling Allie in. So what do you mean he broke up with you?
I mean, we only went on a few dates, then he started praying to fish. And I don't know,
heard about that.
Yeah, he said that suddenly, we believed in different things, so we shouldn't be together. I kind of agree because he seemed a bit crazy.
Sarah, hear me out.
Yes.
Have you ever had a glass of water?
Yes, a few times in my life.
Did you swallow?
Yes, often in my life.
Do you think there's a correlation there?
Between hydrating my body?
I'm just saying you might want to be a little open-minded about this thing.
Oh my God.
I mean, who knows? Have you seen Jesus? I mean, maybe you have. I don't know.
I haven't, but I've also never seen a fish do a miracle.
But there is a correlation there, isn't there? Jesus did a miracle with fish.
But then that would be Jesus being the leader and not the fish. Jesus.
How do we know? How do we know the fish weren't using Jesus?
I don't know. Maybe you should date him. Are you single, Denise?
Okay. I'll give it a shot. I'll see what he has up his gills.
No, I think just if you and him reproduced, it would just make things really weird. So
I'm just saying, keep an open mind. By the way, I need those reports on my desk by the end of the day.
Okay.
Those ambiguous reports that were never mentioned before until this very minute. I need them on my desk by the end of the day.
I'll get them to you for sure.
You're a great worker.
All right. Yes?
Are you gonna order?
Um, I am afraid to order fish, but I will take the crabs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything to drink?
Water.
Good choice. Hydration's important.
Apparently it's
Anybody?
holy.
uh, For some people, it is. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I never thought of it that way. It is important to the body, though, so I guess that could be considered holiness at some point. To each their own, right? Everybody has their own god, I guess.
I
Uh,
guess.
Hey, anybody going to be joining you, or is it just going to be you today?
I'm waiting for somebody. We'll see.
Do I go in or do I stay? No, I can't go in yet.
Do you? Okay, so should I bring another setting? Look, I understand. I'm going to leave you to yourself. I'll have your crabs over here in a minute. Some water. I'll even bring some lemon. Do you want some butter for the crab? I really like butter on my crab.
Sure. Just and another water for this guy that I will be meeting here.
Did she just order
right.
me a water? Oh no, things are getting serious. I should leave.
All right. Well, yep. I'll have that right over to you, and have a good rest of your evening. I hope everything works out for you and this mystery gentleman that you're meeting.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks.
Oh no, now she's sitting there all by herself and doesn't know what to do. Oh, I feel guilty.
All right. If he doesn't show up in like 5 seconds, I'm out of here.
Oh, the waiter just came back.
I got the two waters here, but I'll look. You know what? I think you should give it more time. Somebody like you're waiting, but you're also worth waiting. I'm not good at this. I'm going to stick to waitering. I'm going to leave the love to you.
Wait, would you check to see if there's like this tall guy, dark hair, blue eyes, kind of gangly? Can we see if he's out there somewhere?
Yeah, I was just about to take a smoke break. I'll walk around the exterior of the building and scout it for strange gentlemen.
Thanks.
Yep. Ooh. It's cold out here.
Do I go in or do I stay? Do I go in or? Oh.
Hey, buddy. You lost? Are you looking for the entrance?
Hi. This might be a really weird question, but
I'm a waiter, buddy. I get them all the time. What you need?
Is there a woman inside by the name of Sarah?
Oh, I don't make it a habit of asking every single one of my customers their name, but there is a wonderful seeming young woman in there sitting by herself. She said she's waiting for a tall gentleman with blue eyes.
That's me.
You're pretty tall and you got blue eyes, so even if it's not you and you're single, I would say go ahead and go for it. She seems really sweet.
I don't know if I'm ready to go inside yet. Do you mind going in and asking her just a couple of icebreaker questions for me? I'm just not ready there. I'm just not there yet. Go in and ask her what her favorite movie is. Please.
You want me to? Okay, yeah, I can start that dialogue. Sure. Hold on one second. Head back in. Okay, so this is strange, but this is the service industry after all, so I am here to be of service to my customers both inside and apparently outside. So to answer your question, yes, there is a gentleman outside, tall, blue eyes, but he would like me to ask you a question first before he comes in. I know, strange, but okay. All right. His name. He didn't. I forgot. I don't have his name yet. Do you know his name? Would you like me to ask his name? Is this a blind date sort of thing?
My name is Filbert.
Okay, his name's Filbert. I got that. You could hear it through the glass, apparently. Look, Filbert would like to ask you, Sarah, your favorite movie. What is your favorite movie, Sarah?
This is very weird. I'm not even sure if I should stick around.
No, go ahead.
I will.
It's a worst case scenario. It'll be a good story sometime in the future.
My favorite movie is Love Actually.
Sarah, that's your favorite movie of all the movies that have ever been made. Love Actually.
All the movies.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm going to ask another question just because I have a feeling he's going to send me back in here. So I'm going to ask two and see if I can get a couple answers and maybe shorten this time in between this running back and forth up. I have other tables. You are not my only customer.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm just curious, what type of what do you do for a living? What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm a waitress as well, actually.
So you totally understand, and then also I expect that there'll be a nice tip in the end for me, for running in and out of the restaurant looking for people here for you. So, all right, well, I got a little more information. I'm gonna head back out to my friend Filbert there and pass that on. Anything else I can get for you in the meantime? How's the crab? Everything good?
It's good, yeah. Thank you.
Great. All right, I will respond to Filbert with those answers and work on getting him through the door. Like I said, he seems really nice. I think he's just a little bit nervous. Somebody as beautiful as you, why wouldn't they be? All right, I'm back outside.
You asked her favorite job. What are you, a radio host? Who do you think you are?
I asked her what she did for a living. That's a pretty common question for someone you don't know.
You don't think that I would like to ask some of these questions? No, that's my job. You go in and ask the questions that I tell you to. Now you go back in there and you ask how many croutons belong on a Caesar salad. You ask her that.
Phil, you come back here right now. I'm not done talking to you.
I'm running away. I'm around the building now. Bye.
Well, it's a circle building, so you're going to end up back here in a moment, and I'll wait. All right. Yeah, like I said. All right, Phil. Look, listen to me, buddy. I think you're taking this a little too serious. You're putting a little too much pressure on yourself. I think you need to breathe. Look, I asked her what she did for a living. She is also a waitress. Okay, she's a waitress.
Okay.
She's a waitress, and her favorite movie is Love Actually. Not Star Wars. Nothing that you like. But Phil, let me tell you, that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to find someone with different interests than you. They can open your eyes to a whole new world out there, show you new things. You can experience those things together. That's how relationships grow and bonds are made. Phil,
Mr.
I think
Waiter,
you're looking...
Mr. Waiter.
Yes.
I don't feel like I should be explaining this to you because I feel like you should already get this.
You know, some people say that how you treat members of the service industry is a really good, precursor to how they will treat other people in their lives.
Take my credit card, run as many numbers on it as you want.
Great.
Listen. When change is at our mercy, my father told me this. When change is at our Thank you. When change is at our mercy, you can't expect life to sprout flowers.
Are you Filbert?
I'm going to go in and take care of my Uster customers.
For like 20 minutes now, and you're just out here talking to our waiter?
I have a good reason. I have a very good reason. My father once told me, when change is at our mercy, you can't expect to just grow flowers.
Okay, explain.
You
No. Explain why you're 20 minutes late. And you're just waiting out here.
All right. So we met on the new dating app, Zoom people, right?
Right.
People of Zoom. I saw your profile. I thought you looked great. It looked for a moment like we had a lot in common. I drink a lot of water. You drink a lot of water.
Lately, yeah.
That's kind of code for people who believe in the fish deities. Now, when I saw you sitting at the table and you ordered breadsticks, that was a red flag. I'm not so sure that you understand what the fish people are capable of doing with our lives, of where we're going, of what we believe.
Okay, I'm trying to be more open-minded. This is a real thing.
Okay.
Why do fish people not like bread?
Do you want me to answer that?
That would be preferable, yes.
Hang on. You're giving me all the signals that you may be a part of the religion, but you don't know why we don't eat bread?
Okay, I'm open-minded. I am
Have you
not
heard
yet a
have
part
you
of your religion.
have you heard of a man named Jesus?
Yes.
Do you remember the story in the New Testament when there weren't enough people to feed? So he replicated more fish and more bread.
Bread?
He
Okay.
started the fish versus bread war. That's where it all started.
Oh my
It's
God.
fish
Oh my
versus
God.
bread,
Oh
and
my
you
God.
need
Oh
to
my
make a
God.
choice.
Oh my God.
If you're pro bread, you better just join up with the carbs over there, the carb religion.
I really like carbs.
Son. God. If what you're telling you recounting the events of the date, and it just sounds to me like you're completely at fault here. I gotta be honest with you. And I
Dad,
love you with all of my
whoa.
gills. No. Whoa. It's
You
time for
want me to
you
take up with a bread person?
I want you to shut up and listen. Okay? There's something you should know.
Listening.
Son, your mother was a bread person. Our family has not always been people of the fish. We've not always been. We're not a fish person on both sides for all of eternity. Oh, throw up if you must. That's fine. But this is the hard news that you need to hear, because I can't see you throwing away an opportunity for happiness anymore because of your beliefs in something that we don't even know if it's true or not. I think fish people are more agnostic than we let on sometimes, son. But look, listen, look at me, Filbert. Okay? It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the here and the now. It's finding someone that you can share things with. Maybe someone that's totally different than you. That you could learn and bond over new things and find new things together that you like. I feel like you've heard this from a waiter before, but it didn't sink in then, so your old pops has to tell you again. All right? And like I said, all those years ago, if I would have thrown up the red flags like you did when your mother ordered a plate of bread for dinner on our first date, she asked for extra bread.
All right, Dad, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Thank you for cutting me off.
I have some serious soul searching to do. In fact, you've inspired me. I think I need to call Sarah back.
I think you do. Well, I'm going to listen in, so call now.
Oh, okay. Ring.
Hello?
Thank you for joining me on this video chat, Sarah.
No.
I've sorry, I have a
fishing.
Just say it already, son.
I've been doing some soul searching, and I feel like I may have misjudged you. All this time, I thought you were misjudging me when really I was the one who was being short-sighted. I've been looking into your new bread religion, and I feel like maybe we can take up a new deity together.
Oh God. Okay. Let's put that aside for a moment. Just for a moment. I don't have a bread religion. I'm trying to be open-minded about your fish religion, but I think it might be better if we just, take religion out of our potential relationship and never talk about it again.
Listen to what she's saying, son.
It's okay if you believe what you believe and I believe what I believe, as long as we don't try to force those beliefs on each other. I am totally okay with it.
Sarah,
you're weird as fuck.
You make some excellent points, and after an experience like this, you don't owe me anything. You owe me nothing. I feel like I was the one who was a jerk. I feel like I had to learn the hard way, and all this time. Do you think that there's maybe some kind of a flapping gill inside of— I'm sorry. Can you forgive me?
I can forgive you. I will forgive you. But if this is going to work, no more fish metaphors. No more fish talk. You can talk about fish with your people. You can talk about fish with your fish. You can talk about fish with your dad. No talk about fish with me. Ever.
So we don't need to pray to this man.
No, please, God, no.
Good.
Okay.
With your consent, may I kiss you on the cheek?
Sure.
So well done.
Okay.
That's it. We found love, right? That's how love works.
That's it. Yeah, we did it. That's what happens when we find love. We end the show. All right. Mission accomplished. Oh my goodness.
With
God.
special guest Powdered Toast Crunch Man.
Who is that?
Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy growing up?
No, I wasn't allowed to.
Oh, he was a fixture. He was like the superhero on Ren and Stimpy. He's Powdered Toast Man. He flies backwards.
It really was like a very perfect. I don't know why it looked like half bread, half fish, but it was
kind of, yeah.
It kind of like that's not what a fish body looks like. But for some reason, in that moment, I was completely in belief of that's the reality of the situation. Well, thank you all so much for taking that wild ride with us. Man, it took some time, but Filbert really seemed to learn to open himself to the people around him and not be so narrow-minded. That was really nice. I'm really happy for Filbert, and it was nice to see that some lessons in love were learned, which was the name of the show. So thank you all for joining us for these last couple weeks of rom-coms again. They were so much fun to perform and a blast to be on screen. If you enjoyed the show, and I hope you did, consider throwing a donation to Reno Improv's way. Consider throwing a donation our way. We have been doing these shows online for almost a year now, and it's been so much fun bringing them to whoever wants to watch them free on Saturday nights live every Saturday night. But also you can watch them on YouTube or Facebook video anytime. So really, if you've enjoyed these shows, thank you so much for being a part of the audience. But also consider throwing a donation our way. I'm going to throw the banner up right there. There it is. Support our nonprofit theater, renoimprov.org/donate. Include that mailing address so that we can provide you with a tax receipt, because Reno Improv is a 501c3 nonprofit. So thank you all again so much for being with us tonight. We had a blast doing the show. We hope you had a blast watching. We'll be back again we won't be back, but Reno Improv will be back next week with an all-new show, completely improvised, made up on the spot, all new characters, all new fun. Thank you for being with us tonight, and be with us again next week. We hope to see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Keep waving until I click the button for end the